How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Jeff, aka Sam on the PlayStation Network.
And here we are, Kyle, with Jeff, as always.
Of
Don't
course.
leave me out. Never, please. Don't leave me.
Don't get needy now. Alright, so we are here talking about more E3 stuff. In the last video, we talked about Nintendo. This video, we're going to talk about Xbox, if you can tell by the title. So, Microsoft is going into this year trying to maybe even the score with PlayStation and with Sony, because Sony's been running the board with the PlayStation 4 the last 3 years. So it's going to be an interesting year for Microsoft and Xbox, and it's going to basically start with E3, I think.
Yeah, personally, I have been kind of, I would say, disappointed with Xbox just by all the stuff they've done with the Xbox One. I haven't had a lot of experience with the Xbox One.
Are you talking about Are you talking about the initial? You're disappointed with how they initially came out?
Yes,
Described it?
and
Because I think a lot of the things they've done recently have
yes,
been pretty good.
recently, yes,
Within the last year.
They've talked about with me recently, yes, within the past year. I don't know. I just still have a bad taste in my mouth.
Fair
I
enough.
guess.
Fair enough, and a lot of people do. I mean, that's why the PlayStation sales are almost 2-1. I don't know the specifics, but they're about 2-1 to Xbox right now. So a lot of people feel that way. That the initial message of the Xbox One was very poor. But in the defense of Microsoft, they have rebounded and they've made a much clearer message and a much stronger direction for Xbox One 4. But that being said, they kind of did the same thing that PlayStation did, in that they have thrown themselves into a monkey wrench of a situation that's going to be very intriguing to see how they work around. Do you want to get into that now, or do you want to save that as the last?
Yeah, we'll save it. We'll
Okay.
save it a little bit.
So what's the first thing you want to talk about? What's first on the list?
I want to talk about. I saw something about a Steam box. I don't know what that is, but it said something about announcing the Steam box.
That was affiliated with Microsoft?
Yes, it was.
In terms of Xbox, or
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as I understand, the Steam box is supposed to be almost like a hybrid computer console thing, where it's supposed to run. It's like it's Steam. It has the Steam the OS and everything. In terms of the store.
The program, right?
Yeah, the program and the store and everything. But it's predominant just that. It runs all those games directly from the store, immediately. It's basically like a small computer, like every home console is.
Yeah.
But it's directly to work with Steam. It's basically like a stripped down computer, which that's the knowledge I know of it. So I never really knew if it had anything to do with Xbox. So how do you know how much it has to do with Xbox?
No. I just saw it when I was looking at stuff.
Okay, it just kind of
Only inside of Xbox, like the Xbox article, I would say, Microsoft article.
Okay.
That's Steambox came up, not in Nintendo or not in Sony.
Sure. The only thing I think of is that maybe there's a crossplay, because PC does work a lot with Microsoft. A lot of the games on Xbox do more often than not go to PC. The new Gears is going to go to PC at some point. So it might be one of those things where it's going to be also kind of like that. It's treated like that, where it's almost like a sister console to the Xbox, maybe.
Okay.
Except it's just more like a Steam variety and won't do as much.
And do you know if this Steam box could hook up to a system and all, and then?
Oh, you mean a peripheral, almost it directly connects to Xbox?
Yeah, and
I don't know. I don't know.
And then you can play your Steam games through that.
Through the Xbox?
on your Xbox or PlayStation 4 or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I'll say this: if that's the case, that'd be pretty freaking sweet. Because Xbox already does a lot of cool stuff that I wish the PlayStation did. I understand why the PlayStation doesn't, and I think a lot of people don't really get it, but I kind of get it. At the same time, Microsoft, so for instance, for those of you that might not know, the PlayStation 4 does not work with external hard drive. So let's say you have an external hard drive that's 3 terabytes, and you think you buy that with the base model 500 gigabyte PlayStation 4, and you're thinking, oh, that means I have 3.5 gigs to work, or 3.5 terabytes to work with, because you have the 3 terabyte external and you have the 500 gigs. All that's going to work together as one collective memory. That's actually what the Xbox does. Essentially, the Xbox reads the external hard drive as additional memory. The PlayStation reads it as backup. It reads it as a backup source because Sony essentially makes it very hard for external items to be integrated with the system on the level that an external hard drive would be when it comes to increasing your memory. Because the PlayStation is much less like a computer versus the Xbox. The Xbox is a lot like a computer. Like, I know you haven't, like you said, you haven't played with the Xbox much. My roommate from college, he has an Xbox, and it runs Windows 1 or 10. It's basically a laptop, just home console version. So it does a lot of things that a computer would do. So, you can go in and out, but so that is a good question though. Does the Steam box work with kind of like the external hard drive? Would it work as a peripheral to you could hook it up, or maybe it's somehow they Bluetooth connect to each other or something, or they connect over the internet or something to each other, and they can work in tandem where you can access your Steam account and play, that's a H1Z1 from your Steam box on, and then basically stream it through to your Xbox. I don't know how that would work, but maybe. Yeah. That's a good question. I have no idea. Mainly because I look at anything like that, like the Alienware box that got made not too long ago, or the NVIDIA video game system they made, the NVIDIA Shield or whatever. I look at that stuff, I just don't really pay attention just because it's kind of like the Ouya or the Ouya or whatever. A few years ago, the Ouya or whatever, it's supposed to be like a big indie, small, almost like the alternative gaming console to all the big name consoles. Like, I don't know, the Ouya or the OUA or YA. I forget how it's pronounced, but I remember it, and it's just very, I don't know, it's a very awkward system in my opinion. I don't know. You're completely right though. That is something to keep in mind. That could be a big ace in the hole if they work together. That'd be cool.
Yes, I do agree, and that's kind of like the idea I thought when I saw that. I didn't really read into it because I didn't. I mean,
well, because it's rumor and speculation. Sure.
Yes, but if I hope it is something like that. I mean, that would be very nice if it was something like that.
I gotcha.
I'm sure everyone else would enjoy that.
Okay. So, moving on, you probably know what the current lineup roughly would be for the Xbox lineup that's come out so far. So Sunset Overdrive, Halo, Forza. I mean, the typical standard bearers have been out already. So Forza, Halo, another Forza, and Call of Duty and all that. So, for this conference to work for you, what would be some big key points for you to be interested? What would they have to focus on for you?
I really don't want them coming out and saying, "Here's Call of Duty,"
Oh, so you don't want Call of Duty to be
their main focus. I do not want that.
Do you want Call of Duty to have a big focus in any of the conferences?
Not really, because we know it's coming. It's the same thing that we have seen.
Sure. And because of the YouTube reaction, maybe it's best even their interest to kind of not show anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Sure.
I feel like it will hurt them if they do.
I
focus
agree.
Immediately.
I agree. The backlash was severe.
Yeah. And I hope they did learn from that.
Well, especially since they haven't even really technically addressed the new villain. I mean, supposedly Kit Harington's supposed to be the new villain for this game, if not the next one. If he is for this one, they definitely shouldn't show anything, because you kind of have to show who the villain's going to be by this point. In my mind.
Yeah.
And even in a grander scheme of things, I don't think Call of Duty or really any game needs to have a big stage presence in terms of big AAA games like Call of Duty or even Assassin's Creed anymore. It's the newer games. I understand if Watch Dogs 2 has a decent demo for Xbox for 8 minutes, because they kind of do have to have that. They have to show why we have to care about Watch Dogs 2, or new IPs, or Battlefield 1, a game that's trying to get goodwill going for. Call of Duty, You know what you're getting by this point. And I think they should just take some time and just kind of back off and maybe just, do their Destiny bit with, and then even talk about Call of Duty on a low level, but maybe just show a trailer and just walk out.
Yeah.
Like a new trailer. I don't know if a demo would be a good idea for them right now, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't. I just, like I say, I just don't really want Call of Duty to be a big focus. I don't want Call of Duty to take up a big portion of the conference. Because I feel like that would just, not just for me, I feel like for others, people would not enjoy that.
Sure.
I mean, would you enjoy that? I mean, honestly,
by this point, they don't need to.
A lot of coverage on Call of Duty.
Really, the only thing that Call of Duty could do that make me interested is if they try and show a reason why you should get remastered, the Call of Duty 4 remastered, but
yes.
That's a whole other beast nest
Yeah.
that you could go into.
Yeah.
So, next topic, before getting into the big topic, I think that we should talk about. What are your three, from your research, if you found any games that really opened up to you, what are 3 games that you could think of that would really, like, if they weren't at or shown off at the Xbox conference, you'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? To you, if you could think of any.
One that I saw really stuck out to me, because I'm pretty sure the Titanfall franchise was
They started on Xbox. Yeah.
started on Xbox.
Yeah.
And I saw something about Titanfall 2.
Yes.
And
yeah, it has been announced.
how great Titanfall 1 was.
It was underappreciated.
Yes.
Now that it's going cross-platform, it's kind of a mixed bag. I don't know which. It's weird because I'm not sure if Battlefield 1 or Titanfall 2 are going to show up at PlayStation or Xbox. They could go either one. Because one or the other is going to be at each other's consoles. I think Titanfall 2 might be at PlayStation because Battlefield 1 might be at Xbox, but it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Either one could be in that spot. But Titanfall 2 does look sweet.
Yeah.
Titanfall 1 was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed Titanfall, the first one, and what I saw. I didn't get the chance to play it, but I really liked what I saw at a Titanfall. And another one I want to point out that we talked about earlier,
Sure.
one that I'm not excited about, honestly, is Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first Watch Dogs just
It had its moments, but
had its moments, but just was
fundamentals.
lackluster.
Kind of like the first Assassin's Creed
Yes.
in some ways.
Yes. And
So let me just to kind of maybe put words in your mouth, but you're on the opposite spectrum where you don't think it's going to be like Assassin's Creed 2.
agreed.
Okay, I can respect that.
Agreed.
Why do you think it might not be? Because I have my opinion on why I don't think it might not. Like why it might not be. Because I don't know. I don't think it will, but we'll see. Because to me, because I don't know if you saw it. There was the recent trailer.
Okay, I did not see that.
It takes place in San Francisco, and while I appreciate the vibe it's giving off, it's trying to be more playful than the first one. The first one was a lot dark and dreary and trench coat in Chicago, which is like, who only wears a trench coat in Chicago? Like, people wear a lot of different clothes, like, and that's all you could wear. This game seems like it's much more aware and trying to be more fun and playful, but to me, the trailer seemed like it was trying way too hard to be edgy and way too hard to, like, overcorrect and oversteer what it was. Like, it went from being way too drab and dark and trying to be mysterious and very not political, but kind of political on the message of surveillance and, all that shit, to being the other complete direction. I don't know, like, to me, it felt like they were trying way too hard. Plus, no gameplay has been shown off. To me, I could give a shit less about a teaser. You need to show me gameplay, and there hasn't really been gameplay yet.
Yes. I mean, I could be, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I could grab more interest, I guess, in the Watch Dogs, I guess,
From gameplay?
story from gameplay if it
Gotcha.
was better than
Sure.
the first Watch Dogs.
That's fair.
Because I know just the first Watch Dogs gameplay just wasn't up to par.
Yeah, the driving was
Some-
pretty poor.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. So the last game that you had to pick, because Titanfall 2 and what would the other one be?
Resident Evil 2 Remake. I saw that and got very excited, actually.
You think that's going to be the Xbox conference? Okay. I can dig it. I mean, it's definitely going to be there. The Xbox conference, okay.
I mean...
You just want it to be there, period.
I want it to be there, period,
but you think it might be Xbox? I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, it definitely leans more towards Sony, of course.
Well, maybe. I mean, Sony's got a lot on their plate. So
that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
Sony
true.
has a lot on their
True.
plate that they're expected to
True.
bring forward, which we'll talk about later. But
True. It could, because, I mean, there could be plenty of space for them at Xbox conference. Plus,
Yes.
I mean, it's not like they're not going to mention they're going to come to PS4.
yes,
For me, if I had to throw one more in for you, it'd be Final Fantasy 15. They're probably going to be at the Xbox conference. They're probably going to have the bigger. They're going to have the bigger stage than. They're going to have that at that one. And there's a reason why. We'll get to that in the PlayStation video that we're going to do. Last topic. The Scorpio. The brand new Xbox coming in like 2 years. That's supposedly supposed to blow the Neo out of the water, but is ushering in, along with the Neo, a whole new generation cycle of possibly every 4 to 5 years a brand new vegan console. Thoughts on the Scorpio? And just this whole situation that's developing right now? Or do you want to get into that in the next episode?
I know. I just don't
You don't know enough?
know enough to say a lot. You know, I hope that Microsoft has learned their lesson.
Fair enough.
With how
Sony
with what
too.
they did. Yes, Sony too.
With the PlayStation
especially.
3, yeah.
Yes, and
I
how
agree.
when their Xbox One first came out,
Yeah.
or when they first announced it, everyone, it was really just like people were very shocked at what they were saying, honestly,
Yeah.
about their system, and.
Yeah. Well, and now Sony has all this goodwill, and now they're trying to do this, along with trying to start VR. I mean, and that's just it.
And when it comes down to it,
It's probably VR.
Yes.
All this points to VR needing more power to me. Like, the current systems could run VR just fine, but they need that next system to come soon so they can really get these studios to work properly with
Yes.
VR. That's, to me.
That and the next Sony system really has to kind of live up to the PS4. PS4.
The Neo?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of glad they might be pushing it back to next year. But we'll see. I don't know.
Because the PS4,
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like it. Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us for this episode. Join us for one more with the PS4. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Peace.